Hey guys, we're going to learn how to chew up our fabric. So this is really helpful if you get it from the store, or if you go to a swap meet and the edges are all wonky. You can do this with any project. So first, as you can see, this edge is cut super short, and then it just doesn't even match right here. So I'm actually going to come right about here and trim it, and then we're going to rip it. And this is going to make that selvage edge the same on both sides. And then the cut side, sorry about that, the cut side is now the same. So as you can see, wow, then the print must be off a little bit. But anyways, the thread shows that this is now an even edge. So what we're going to do is we're going to make it a square. I actually want a smaller blanket for this project that we're making. So I'm just going to go ahead and fold this over here. See if I can get a big size out of it. Oh, nope. I can't. Okay. We're going to test this out in a minute. So I didn't notice, but this fabric is actually cut, I took a chunk out when I was making a project, so we can't use it that way. So I measured 36 inches off this way, so it's just going to be a yard. So this is 36 inches, and we're going to true up this side. So just a little snip, and then you're just going to pull it the whole way. And then that gives you a nice edge. And then we already trued up the other side. And so we have a 36 by, I want to say 45 little piece, which is going to be a baby quilt. Babies don't need a whole big one, you know. So this is going to be the quilt that we're going to practice with and do our binding and everything. So do this exact same thing to your other fabric. True up one side, measure 36 across this edge, and then snip it and then cut it again. Now, when you do that, it does sometimes get a little wonky. So you're going to take opposite corners. So you're going to take this corner and then the opposite side, not right next to it, but the opposite over here. And you're going to just pull them in different directions. And it's going to get taut a little bit right there in the middle. And that's what we want. That's the bias. And that will kind of recenter all the fabric threads so that your fabric is actually true, really true. And then go and grab the opposite side. So now this side and the other opposite corner, totally diagonal. And pull those again. And that will help get your fabric to be a complete square or rectangle or whatever it is. That will make it so that it will all shift back into place. And now you have a trued up piece of fabric. So again, repeat this on your other piece. This is actually my bottom. So I'm going to do it with the top piece. And then we're going to make our quilt sandwich. Okay, so this is the fabric that I'm going to use for the top. They actually knew what they were doing, and this side looks really well. This is Alexander Henry. I was actually saving it for a skirt, but I have a whole bunch, so that's fine. I want my friend to know that I love her because I'm cutting into this for her baby. So I really love you. You all know, if you hoard fabric, if you collect fabric, you know what I'm talking about. So 36 inches. So we're just going to go with the regular width of the fabric. This might actually be wider than the other one, so I'm going to check that, but we can fix that later. I'm going to take this and, I'm going to cheat it real quick. I'm just going to use the other fabric that I cut out. Oops. And we're going to use that edge to match it because we like shortcuts, right? I do a lot of shortcuts. Okay, so once we get to there, I'm going to give it a little bit of extra just in case I messed up. And then you're just going to pull it. This is how we cut. Ta-da! Okay, just pretend like that didn't happen. So, so this is the top. Well, this is the inside of the top. And then we're going to put, you know what? I'm doing it backwards. Okay. This is the bottom. Now we're going to put our batting if we want in it. You don't have to, I mean, but it's a little warmer. If it's like for a summer baby, you don't have to really do batting. You can just sew this. I've done quilts that way, just like little kind of throws. You don't have to. Oh, look at all this extra thread. Wow, that's going to drive me nuts. So yeah, so it's up to you. If it's for like a winter baby, you can get some of that like nice wool cotton batting. If it's for like a summer baby, you can just do it like this without the batting. But since we're going to do a quilt sandwich, we're going to put batting. I'm going to go see what I have. I think I have cotton. So I'm going to cut it to this size. Sometimes it's a little bigger. That's fine. Stick it on top and then put this on top of that. Match the edges, the selvage edges. Okay. Match those edges when you pin it together. And then go around. And we're going to pin it. And then we're going to do a little stitching in the middle just for fun. Just some light stitching to show you how you can do it. And then after that, then we are going to bind the edges. And I will show you a couple different ways that you can bind them to make them easy. We might try, oh, this is going to be like a Frankenstein quilt, just kidding. I'll show you a different couple ways to bind them. I'm not sure if I'm going to bind them all on this like that. We might just do one on this one, but I'll still show you a couple different ones. So again, here's your bottom. Get your batting, cut it to that size. If it's a little bigger, that's okay. We're going to true it up later after we do some quilting on the inside because it all shifts a little bit. And then put the batting down here. So you have this face down batting and then this one on top with face up. Okay. And then I will show you what it looks like when everything is pinned together. Okay. So this is the batting. It's a little thinner than I wanted. So I actually doubled it up. Underneath this is the bottom. And we just put that down and smooth it out first. Now, get your batting. Don't get cheap batting like me. It's fine. It'll work. What you're going to do is you're going to smooth it out from the middle. So here's the middle. And I'm going to smooth it out this way. And then I'm going to smooth it out that way. And I'm going to smooth it out that way and that way. Kind of like a sun, we're going to smooth out the batting. We did that to the bottom layer. And then after this is all nice and smoothed out, this is how we get the wrinkles out. After we get all of this nice and smoothed out, like the whole thing, then we stick the next layer on top, and that will be the top of the fabric. So I'm going to smooth this out real quick, and then I'm going to show you how I do the next one. Okay, so this is the top layer. This is the right side of the top fabric. I put it down. I can kind of see underneath where the fabric is. If this is like over a little bit, it's fine. We're going to fix that. Same with the edges. If it's like over like 1/2 inch or 1 inch, you know what? Don't worry. I mean, we can always cut that off later after we top stitch this. It's just, as long as we have the pieces that we need together, it's going to work. So again, I didn't iron this just to show you that all of this can get fixed later. I know some of you are like, don't worry about it. This is one of those things where after we quilt it, we're going to throw it in the washer and dryer, and it will actually, the stitches will kind of shrink a little bit and give it the nice cute puffy feel. It'll actually look way more amazing after it's washed. So don't even worry, even if you don't iron it. Yeah, I gave you permission not to iron it. If you want to go ahead and do that extra step, I probably could have right there, but I'm feeling a little lazy, so I'm not going to, and it will still look cute. When you give someone a baby quilt, they don't ask you if you ironed it before you quilted it. Trust me, I've never been asked that. So yeah, again, do this from the middle out like a pretty little sun. So smooth it out there, smooth it out here, and do the whole thing. And then we're going to, if this was a typical quilt, we would get safety pins, and we would safety pin it about every 4 to 6 inches, starting in the middle, and then you go out like a T. So you'd go out this way, and then you go out that way, and then you do like a section, and then you would do it every 4 to 6 inches, and every 4 to 6 inches. That's if we're making a typical quilt, and you do it so that when you're top stitching it or whatever it is, it's easy, because then you can just take the safety pins out as you're quilting along. If you like, which I do, is I actually use quilting pins. They're longer than regular pins. I don't even use those ones anymore. You can actually grab a whole lot more fabric. If you're making a quilt though, we say safety pins because that way, if you can't finish quilting it, you can just fold up your project, put it away somewhere and come back to it, and you don't have to worry about all the pins shifting. Yes, but if you don't plan on doing it in a while, safety pins can rust. So just make sure you make those quilts quickly. So yeah, I'm going to get my pins and start pinning this a little bit. I'm not going to go crazy, but I will show you in a minute, because of movie magic, what it looks like pinned. And because of movie magic, ta-da! I mean, I know you can't really see them, but ta-da! Okay, so I started with this pin in the middle, and then I went every about 4 to 6 inches. I didn't use a ruler because I've been doing this for a long time, so if it makes you more comfortable, go ahead and get a ruler, but do it every 6 inches, because 4 is just so close. Like, you don't need 4. And so I started in the middle. I went up this way, I went that way, I went that way, and I went that way. And then I went, and then I took the next one here, and then I went and did that one, that one, that one. And then came here, and then did those that way. And then again, I did a little corner here, did a little section there, did a little section there. It's 5 across and 7 down. You don't have to do that, but that's how mine ended up for this little 36 by like 45 inch baby quilt. I did notice that the edges, when I was doing it, like it did shift a little bit, but that's okay, because after we finish doing this, we're going to go take our straight edge and we're going to cut off the edges to make it a nice, pretty square. That's how you kind of fix every quilt you ever will make. So don't worry, again, if this overlaps like a little bit too much from the bottom, because I know that side doesn't match. I like looked at it and that side's a little over, but it's a selvage. It's getting cut off, so we don't care. This is it. We're going to roll it up. We're going to take it to our machine and we're going to stitch it.